What is up, this is Colonial Puppet, and for this video I decided to do something a little different. I decided to take a trip down memory lane and take a look at the very first thing I built in Minecraft. Actually, that's a lie. I bootlegged Minecraft back in 2011 on my very first laptop. It was a 2009 MacBook. Not a MacBook Pro, just a plain old MacBook. It was white. It was a white unibody MacBook, and I built some things, but nothing like concrete like this, like a skyscraper or anything. It was mostly just like a little hut and stuff. But this was built in 2012 on Xbox 360 in late April, early May of 2012. I made a video of it on YouTube on my old channel on May 30th, 2012. So this is well over 5 years old. It is the first thing I built, like I said, on Minecraft Xbox 360, and I kind of want to give it a little showcase, kind of relive the building of this building. It is called the Sandcastle Suites Hotel. That has been its name for the past 5 years, and it began this beautiful city that you see around it. I'm actually going to go back to where I first spawned. Or I think where I first spawned. I think I spawned on the beach over here. Yeah. I remember a surprising amount of the first time I played. This was also the first time I played Minecraft on the Xbox. I immediately started building that skyscraper over there because I knew I wanted to build a city. The first time I ever heard of Minecraft. It was an aspiration of mine, I guess you can say. But I spawned over here. It was on easy mode, so I was like getting killed by skeletons and stuff, and I was running over here until I reached about here, I think. Or on this site there used to be a lava pit, so where this building was, or no, the lava pit was actually like right here. It was dark, I couldn't see anything, but I saw this lava pit like here. I was like, okay, this will be my home. I built a little mud hut like right here, and that was where I lived for a little bit. I realized you could turn it to peaceful, so that's what I did. And this was before creative or any of that, so I had to build on survival. So immediately I started digging this basement area. So this was the first thing I built, was this basement. I remember digging this hole and putting in these cobblestone walls, and this was gonna be my like home base for building. You might actually see that there's still material. Yeah, so these weren't duplicated. There was a duplication glitch, sorry, back in the day before creative, and instead of growing all your blocks or creating all your blocks, you could just duplicate them. I totally forget how, but that was the thing. But surprisingly, I did not duplicate for like this entire build. So this was all built by hand gathered materials. I remember just getting all the cobblestone. There was a mountain here actually. I totally forgot this. There's a mountain like right here, and I got most of my cobblestone from there. I got most of the sand. It might actually still be dug out. This was built with the duplication glitch, obviously. But oh yeah, wow, the little pathway that I made with lights are still here. So this was actually, these lights are 5 years old too. I walked all the way over here, and there's a beach. Man, I can't believe I walked this far. All the way over here. Yeah, here it is. So this is where I got a lot of my sand. This little spot, as you can see, it's all dug out. That was back before I knew about the duplication glitch and before creative mode, so I had to get all my own supplies. Got all the sand here to make glass, and also just sand in general. Back over to the city. Alright, so that was the one place I got the sand and glass to build this tower, but there's also another place over here, where the actual, this red and white building, all the way in this little corner, this used to be a huge, like sand dune that I completely dug out. So this building has a basement, and I didn't create that basement for this building. I actually dug out all the sand, and it just made a giant hole. You can actually dig through this. So this all used to be sand until I dug it all out and used it for the building. This is the basement of the building above, but even like all that area that takes up, that was also sand. So just a giant pit of sand that I completely stripped. Fun times. Took a long time. This building took like weeks to build, even though it's probably one of the smallest things I've ever built compared to the skyscrapers I build now. This is pretty tiny. But yeah, so that's where I got all the sand. I got all the wood just by chopping down trees, mostly from that forest over there, some over there. The wood came from all over, but the cobblestone and the sand and glass came from those very specific places. But yeah, I don't know why that door's glitched out. This carpet wasn't here. This was built after the fact. There's no carpet. Also, let me go out to the front. Or to the top, that is. At the very top, there's some carpet that wasn't there as well. Neither was this little cover. Back in the day, this was actually the height limit, so I couldn't have placed that block back when this was first built because the height limit was like literally right there. I put the glass pane and this little cover over that after the fact, after many updates. And I don't know why this is frozen, actually. This used to be a pool that you could swim in. I guess the biome's like conflicting with it right now, but this used to all just be water. One thing I really liked back in the day was putting lava underwater and like making everything glass. I don't know why. My idea was, oh, this is like a cool pool that you could swim in, but there's also lava underneath. Don't worry, it won't kill you because it's encased in glass, but I thought that was interesting, and yeah, that's why I did that. I'll show you the rooms. These are what the rooms look like. So you can see Lord Kevin. That was my friend Kevin. I started this building back when I was a junior in high school. These are what the rooms look like. I have now since graduated from college and I'm living on my own in Philadelphia, so just to give you an idea of how old this building is. Yep, these are what the rooms look like. They all look the same. Have a little two ovens and a workbench, 2 beds, and 4 chests to put your stuff in, and you can put your own like little name. There's 10 rooms. This is the lounge area and pool. If you want to go to the pool, you just go all the way up here and jump in if it wasn't frozen. A little annoyed by that. See, that's Lord Kevin's room. He has the top floor. Unsparing End. That must have been someone I played with on Xbox, and as you can see, they got rid of their beds for some reason. I guess they don't need to sleep. And they also got rid of their ovens. Decided to move them over here. Yeah, room number 8, as you can see, just the same thing. Lefties, another person I played with back in the day on Minecraft. This might have been my one friend Clayton's room. There used to be jack-o'-lanterns here, right when you like went up. You might actually be able to see it in like the original video of this. I'll post a link to it in the description. Same room, pretty cool. I think all these rooms are the same. I didn't actually have a room in this. My room's over in like another building. But yep, this is the lobby area. As you can see, it has like an atrium and like an overlook area. This is actually a room. I did not know that. This might have actually been my room. I don't know. This is just a normal lobby, which you can walk into this kind of open recreational area. And again, I really liked see-through floors because, I don't know, that was cool. That was cool to me back in the day. It's like a outdoor balcony area. And I think you can get to this room. I guess not. I thought I put a doorway in here. I don't think it lined up actually. Yeah, it didn't. But anywho, yeah, this is pretty cool. And again, you've seen the basement because that is like the first thing I showed you. Awesome. All these supplies that I used to build this place. I'll show you that in a minute, but this is another area. This is like a restaurant. This is like the downstairs cooking area, but upstairs is not up here. You have to actually go outside and come up here. This is the attached restaurant. This was actually a mountain. This building wasn't built as much as it was carved. So this all used to be a mountain. That's why stone was really hard to get before creative or the duplication mod, because you had to when you get wood or get stone, you have to it turns into cobblestone and you have to cook it to make it back into stone for some reason. Yeah, it's really weird. So this was all carved. Obviously I didn't cook that much cobblestone to build this, so I just carved this out. I probably cooked some to like fill in if there's any ore that I had to be replaced or if I accidentally mined out too much. So this was all hand mined, and well, all of this was hand mined and all that stuff. But yep, this was the mountain turned into a 3-story restaurant with a basement. Pretty cool. This iron was in here. This is all added after the fact, as well as this. This was all just like plain cobblestone. Kind of looked ugly. Or actually, cobblestone like outline, but stone on the inside. What else is there? Oh yeah. There's also this. This is the this is actually built by a friend of mine who helped with this. This was built after the building was done, but we decided to connect this building to the rail system that runs throughout the city. This was the first rail station ever built, so you just come in, get your rail cart, and sled her down, press the button, go shooting that way, or you can go shooting this way. Pretty cool. Or you can just chill out in this creepy dark area. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's this building. I guess I could show you the 2 more buildings around this area. Actually, I'll do a quick pan around. So this is the first building I built ever. This was the second. This was actually built from leftover parts for this building that I thought I would use all of the materials I had gathered, but turns out I had a lot left over, so I built this building. Back then I really wanted every building to have a purpose, so this was my like ender building. So this was going to be where that portal was, and then I was going to fill the building with supplies that I had mined from the Ender world, or is it the Ether? I forget. Man, I only play creative now, so I forget all the terms. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Nothing too special about this building. Pretty empty. Unfortunately, I didn't use it that much. I didn't go into the netherworld that much. But it also has a connection to, I think, yeah. Oh wait, no, this has a connection to West Egg Tower, which is, I'll show you. So that leads to the basement of, I can't show you that. To, that building right there, the big tall one that's like new. Yeah, this building and this like little crosswalk was not here. This used to be like a little sand hotel and a big tall cobblestone, ugly cobblestone building. The last building I'm going to show you is this building. This was the trade center for West Egg City. And again, I wanted every building to have a purpose and not just stand there and be empty. So this was a hotel. This was the nether portal building, and this was the trade center. So this is where all the rest of my supplies would go. So each room would hold a certain type of material. And as you can see, I will go in here. Well, this building actually was mixed use. So its main use was to store all this stuff. You could cook things and build things depending on what the floor held. What does this hold? This was like the meat floor, I guess. This floor was armory kind of stuff, like weapons. What was this one? This was like farming and like tools. I guess that one didn't hold anything. I think this building burned down. This also held nether materials, which is why there's like not that many. This held like wood and stuff. That's why there's not that many chests, or I guess I deleted them. I don't know why I would have. This is dirt. Dirt and grass. And this was the lobby area. This building had a basement. Remember when I said I'd show you what that one place was later? This is what it is. It's a straight chute, or straight tunnel to the basement of the Sandcastle Suites Hotel. Ta-da! Pretty cool. So the old buildings, they're all connected underground. Then I built this kind of building. It has a pool, because I like pools, and it had like a little farm. So this was, again, mixed use. This little watchtower building, just going to be like office space, but it's too tiny for that. It just kind of looks like a watchtower. And yeah. Oh wait, I forgot the most important part. The drop of doom. I wanted to make a drop that went all the way from the height limit, which was here at the time. I don't think this big building was, actually this big building was. This whole top was not on here, because like I said, this was like the height limit back in the day. These doors are all glitched. I think when I transferred it over from the Xbox, the doors kind of didn't make it. This was all cobblestone. This didn't have the stone bricks. This was before stone bricks. And basically you just jump down, and yeah, that was the novelty of that building. Again, there wasn't really carpet down here. But yeah, it goes all the way to bedrock, as you can see. And then you just end up back in the main like terrace area with the farm and everything. And you could come back into the building. Ta-da! Pretty cool. So yep, that was the first building I built. That was the third building I built. That was the second building I ever built. I thought I'd just take a walk down memory lane and look at where I was 5 years ago, just to compare to the stuff I'm building now, and show you where it all began. But yep, I hope you like this video. And other than that, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a good day.